Wrestling, a podcast by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. On this very special WrestleMania edition of the podcast, we will be discussing the WWE Hall of Fame, the Warrior Award, and if Donald Trump should be removed from the WWE Hall of Fame. We will also be discussing the top 3 matches at Mania and our favorite moments next on the Power of Pro Wrestling podcast. And welcome to a very special WrestleMania Roundtable edition of the Power of Pro Wrestling podcast. This is your host, Robert Red, and today I'm joined by some very special guests to discuss WrestleMania 33. So we're going to start with...
What's going on?
Well, what's going on? You going to tell people who you are?
I'm Jake, man.
We know.
They got to recognize my voice by now.
Well, let's hope so. Hopefully I don't screw this up too bad and they'll know who you are.
Yeah, well, I'll try not to as well.
And who's the lovely redhead that's joining us again for this podcast?
It's Micah. I was... Which podcast was I on the last time? I don't even... Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I think
Been a while.
Yeah,
because I was here with Jake at that time. That's right. Yeah.
So I brought you back for the WrestleMania Roundtable. So we ready to discuss WrestleMania 33?
Yep. I'm good.
Awesome.
Let's get it.
Well, for this podcast, we're going to, as you know, for the WrestleMania Roundtable, we break this up into 3 segments, and we have topics for each segment. So for this first one, we're going to discuss the Hall of Fame class of 2017 to get this kicked off. So we'll start with Jake. What are your thoughts overall of the WrestleMania 2017 Hall of Fame class for this year?
I don't really, I'll be honest with you, I don't really pay much attention to the class, the Hall of Fame. The only one that I even know, to be honest, I think that I can remember is Kurt Angle. So I just don't keep up with the Hall of Fame very much, to be honest.
So you're not somebody, who keeps up with the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay, but we'll get further into the Hall of Fame and the inductees and stuff like that. So what's your overall opinion, Micah, of the Hall of Fame?
I really don't have a problem with any of the people that they've picked this year. I think it's a decent class to have. So
yeah, this is one of the years of the Hall of Fame class to where I pretty much know everybody who's getting inducted in. So I'm pretty excited. So we'll kick it back to you, Jake. And who are you excited about getting into the Hall of Fame? Who you felt deserved getting into the Hall of Fame this year? Come on, you mentioned Kurt Angle.
Exactly, and I really know that it's even in it.
Okay, what do you feel about the Rock and Roll Express? You excited about them? We got Teddy Long, we've got DDP, we've got
I
Rick
forgot about
Rude,
DDP. Yeah,
DDP,
Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, Beth Phoenix. We got a lot of great people going in. So do you feel they're all deserving?
Yeah.
So okay, that's fine. So you're most excited probably for Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if they're going to make him GM or not. I'm excited about that idea. So.
Okay. What's your thoughts, Mike? Do you feel like everyone's worthy to get in the Hall of Fame? Are you excited about the inductees?
I think pretty much everybody's worthy. I didn't think that Beth Phoenix would get inducted this soon. She don't deserve it, but I didn't think that they're in it is this year. I thought like a few more road, but I'm not saying I deserve it, but just wasn't seeing it coming.
Yeah, it did feel like she was probably the quickest of everybody to get into the Hall of Fame class because she's been with WWE only a few years. So to me, I was like, has she really had a Hall of Fame worthy career? And as a woman, and did she really innovate women's wrestling? What was her contribution that made her Hall of Fame worthy? That's what has me questioning. I don't hate Beth Phoenix. I like her. Yeah. It makes me question why she got into the Hall of Fame with such a short career. And she's been Divas champion.
Yeah.
But there was really nothing noteworthy to her career that made her stand out, which we're going to move into this and I'll kick you into this. Who do you felt like maybe deserved to get into the Hall of Fame that maybe didn't get into the Hall of Fame this year? Who, maybe the snubs, who you felt maybe got snubbed on this year? Who would you have seen that you would have liked to got in the Hall of Fame this year that you felt maybe got snubbed this year?
Honestly, I can't really think of anybody right offhand.
Well, with her recently passing, Chyna, do you feel like maybe she got snubbed this year? Or, because there's a lot of great candidates. There's still Owen Hart. It's not in. You've got Miss Elizabeth. So, do you feel like maybe they got snubbed or?
Well, now that you mention it, I would say in a way yes, because like you said, Beth Phoenix, she hadn't had that long of a career with them. She's had a decent run, but those other couple people, they've had great careers. It's been forever since they've been there, but And then Chyna, she passed away. I mean, I don't see. Wouldn't choose her. There's been a couple instances when some passed away the next year. Whatever.
Yeah. Or I mean, let me even throw to. We'll go back to Daniel. I mean, like you mentioned, Edge get injured here, has to retire, and then like the next year, I think he goes in the Hall of Fame. Do you feel like maybe Daniel Bryan got snubbed, or is it too early for him to go in? Does he even deserve to be in the Hall of Fame at this point? Did he?
Daniel Bryan, he had one heck of a career with. I mean, as short as it was, but I mean, still but he's, after watching him on Talking Smack, he's more relaxed on talking smack, and I think from the expressions on his face and everything that he's going to be wrestling again real soon. And it won't be for the WWE because they won't clear him. So, if he leaves, it's going to be even longer before he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. So or if he even does.
Yeah, and I mean I can agree with you on that. I mean, and some people would say his career wasn't long enough for him to be in the Hall of Fame, but I mean he did have a WrestleMania moment. He's been a very popular person. So, I mean, going in the Hall of Fame, if they did do it, I would wait because I did feel they're very reactionary to the Hall of Fame. And like the snubs, I mean, I do feel it is political. And like I think I've said this on a previous podcast, WWE has a formula or a format that they go by. That's why I feel Chyna didn't get into the Hall of Fame this year. I'm excited about everybody. Like I said, I was questioning about Beth Phoenix. To me, if you're going to do a woman inductee, it should have been Chyna, but she doesn't fit the mold. You already had your deceased person. It was Rick Rude.
Yeah.
You've got DDP, then you have the manager, Teddy Long, the tag team, your headliner with Kurt Angle. So the Hall of Fame is very political, and it's formulaic. Maybe in the future, maybe next year, or in the next couple of years, maybe we will see Chyna go to the Hall of Fame. But let's move on. We've talked a little bit longer than I wanted to, but hey, we've got a good discussion. Part of the Hall of Fame also, we have the Warrior Award. It was introduced not too long ago, I believe it was a couple of years ago, and you had Connor went in, and then you had Joe London was last year's. Now you've got Eric LeGrand is receiving the Warrior Award this year. My question is, should WWE continue to do the Warrior Award, and do you like the format that they're doing it in? So we'll start with you, Micah, since you were kind of talking. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on the Warrior Award? Should they do it? Are you happy Eric LeGrand is this year's inductee? Just what's your thoughts?
Well, it's like the Warrior Award in general. I'm glad that they came up with it. It's it's a pretty good thing that they've done. I honestly don't see a problem with them doing it. And the inductee they picked for it this year seems like a good choice. But like I said, they've only had it a couple years. It's this is like a touch and go thing. They really don't have a thing set for it where they
it's not formulaic is what you're saying. They don't have like a really formula. I mean, what's your thoughts, Jake Warren, the Warrior Award?
I like it. I mean, it's like she was saying though. I wish they did have like a formula for it, but
yeah, I mean, it does seem like they don't have a direction with the Warrior Award. I don't hate Eric LeGrand, and I was reading at suggestion of by former co-host Cornbread Chris Heineken, and about Eric LeGrand, and I'm not going to discredit him. But, I mean, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve the Warrior Award, but I don't think the Warrior Award was designed for that. From my understanding, and I'm going to have to go back and really research this, it was meant to be more for the people like inside the WWE production people and stuff like that who really went unrecognized. And, I mean, I was okay with Connor getting it the first year because of how he was involved in WWE and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you had Joe London, and I was like, okay. And even my friend last year on the roundtable, when we talked about this very same subject, John Jones, I was like, is this a cancer award? I mean, what is this award? I don't really feel they have a direction for it. I mean, what Eric is doing is very heroic, but in terms of the Warrior Award, I'm like, I don't know if he should be the recipient of that. I don't hate the guy, but I mean, it makes me question that. And to kind of finish it off, we're going to go to a very controversial topic, and let's go to our president, Donald Trump. Now, we're talking about WrestleMania. We can't talk about WrestleMania without celebrity inductees. This year, it didn't seem like they announced one. It was rumored that it was going to be Cyndi Lauper, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And I believe a few years ago, I don't remember how long ago, Donald Trump became a celebrity inductee into the Hall of Fame. Now, the question I'm going to pose, I'm going to start with Micah because I know she's probably going to have an interesting opinion on this one. is, should Donald Trump be removed from the Hall of Fame? And the reason why I pose this question is that one of WWE's biggest stars, Hulk Hogan, last year we had, as you all know, had a sex tape come out, and he made some racist comments. As we all know about President Donald Trump, he made the comment about grabbing women by the, well, you know the term there. So, should he be removed from the Hall of Fame? I mean, they did it to Hulk Hogan. What's your thoughts, Micah? Should Trump be removed from the Hall of Fame because he did something very similar, or no, it doesn't matter? What's your thoughts?
Well, in that instance, like you said, Hulk Hogan did make some racist comments at one point in time, and then that's why they removed him. Well, he's done the same thing. You're going to remove somebody for one thing, you might as well do it. So if someone else has done it, do them the same way. You know, don't give any preferential treatment, but that's how my opinion on it.
Okay. I know Jake is probably going to be the dissenting opinion, so I want to hear it. What's your thoughts? I mean, you and me were talking about this pre-show, so I mean, tell me what you were discussing.
The thing is, though, you take Hulk Hogan out of the Hall of Fame for racial slurs, okay? Donald Trump, that was not racist. Back in the Attitude Era, I think Vince McMahon would have to fire everybody that still worked for him in the Attitude Era for what happened to women then. So there's where the politics come in. And then also, you know, Linda is now part of Trump's White House small cabinet.
Business Association. Yeah, she was appointed.
Yeah. So he's not going nowhere. But that's what I'm saying, though, is like you said, we was talking about it before. It's two totally different things. Yeah, both of them had, sexual things to do with it, but Hulk Hogan in the end pretty much was taken out of the Hall of Fame for his racial comments, not for the sexual slurs or what had happened,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Donald Trump's a guy. He was talking about it. It's not, so you can't call it sexual harassment because he didn't act on it.
And then also you got to think about Hulk Hogan's more related with WWE than Donald Trump is, so that also might be another thing they're not really too concerned about with it. Because, even like I was saying earlier, I forgot about him being in the Hall of Fame anyway, so I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah. And, I mean, to play devil's advocate, because that's what I'm saying, I ain't got pointing the question, because to me, it's almost like you're pointing a double standard, or to where you're saying it's okay if Trump says in a conversation that happened to be recorded to grab women by their female parts, but it's not okay for Hulk Hogan to say the N-word. It's almost like you're saying one thing is okay and the other thing not okay. It's really a double standard there, and that's really what my point is. Yeah. It's like if you're going to remove Hulk Hogan for using that, then you have to apply the same thing across the board. Now, to Jake's point, Linda McMahon is now part of the Small Business Association with Trump's cabinet. He isn't going to be removed from the Hall of Fame, and that's just the reality. Hey, now, should he? Probably not. All right, I mean, granted, I'm not going to justify his comments or what he said, but like Jake said, they're guys, stuff gets said. I mean, sometimes you just got to let it go. Oh, and I mean, I get that he is the president and he is held in higher regard, but And like I said, I'm not justifying his comments, but boys will be boys sometimes. You just got to let it go. Had he have acted out upon that, then I would be like, okay, there's something more there. And I think maybe Jake and both could agree with that. Yeah. If something more happened, then I think, But we are going to take a short commercial break, but don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we're going to be discussing the top 3 Mania matches. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Honigan, known as Cornbread. I'm the voice of Out of Control Wrestling, inviting you to experience OCW in 2 ways. Flatlander, 609 Southeast Gibson Street in Hoxie, Arkansas, with a $6 entry fee. As a bonus, is a national taping. Or you can watch us every single Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern in syndication and YouTube, and also Tuesday nights the replay on YouTube at 11 Eastern. If you're not watching us, you ain't out of control. We'll see you then.
This is Jake Neal, and you're listening to the Power of Pro Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the show. With WrestleMania being just days away, we'll be discussing the top 3 Mania matches. So let's start with the Universal title match between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. And I'll start with Jake. What's your thoughts on the match? And we're going to ask the same question for the 3 matches in this segment. should Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg main event WrestleMania? First, what's your opinion of the match, and should they main event WrestleMania?
I mean, I like the match. We all know what's going to happen, so I don't think it should be like the main event. No.
So you think it should not be the match that closes the show?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's kick it over to Micah. What's your thoughts on the match, and should this match main event WrestleMania?
Well, I'm actually looking forward to seeing this match. If it lasts longer than 10 seconds, but
I don't see that happening. We'll get into that
but
later.
because of that, it's just like, I mean, I don't think it should be the match that closes the show. I mean, you want to put that smack in the middle. I wouldn't put it at one of the first few, but I'd put it somewhere in the middle of it. But I wouldn't have it being the one that closes out the show.
Okay.
So,
reality. This match is probably going to close out the show, either this or the third match, and I hate to say this reality just because it is I hate the fact that two part-timers are going to close out the WrestleMania, but it's the matter of the fact is you have Goldberg that are really there for the casual fans, and Brock Lesnar, because you have Goldberg, people who watch wrestling during the Attitude Era and WCW know who Goldberg is. Brock Lesnar, they know who he is from the UFC. So you get the casual fans who don't necessarily watch all year round are watching WrestleMania to see these two clash, who are like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, and it's the Universal title. And like I said, I think on the previous podcast, that's why the Universal title was put in here, was to elevate it to say Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, or if Lesnar does win this Sunday, gets the title and it helps to elevate it. I don't really like that, but I think in a reality, this is going to be the match that closes the show. Now, I'm with you, Micah. I think this match needs to last a little bit of time, because if this closes out WrestleMania, I feel a lot of people are going to be soured if it does not have some length to it. If it's 5 minutes, people are going to be very upset with it being the thrill ride that they're building it. I think that would be pretty awful if you only have a match that's 2 minutes to close out your show. So I think they really they're going to main event WrestleMania. Should they? No. And I'm a traditional guy, and I'm going to explain why they shouldn't main event WrestleMania in the match we're about to move to right now. So, we're going to move on to the flip side of the coin, the WWE title match, which is Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. So, we'll kick it to Micah first. What's your thoughts on this match, and should they main event WrestleMania? Should they close off the show?
Okay, back when I was on the Elimination Chamber podcast, figured Bray Wyatt was going to win it. Okay, he's going to fight Randy Orton. I saw this match coming, but how they've built it up, I really want to see this match. I know it's going to be a good match between the two of them. So I honestly think it should be the one that closes it out, be the main event of it. But as you said, I really don't think that they would do that, but I think that it should be. And I think it would be a very good match because how they've built it up.
Okay. What's your thoughts on this match? Are you excited to see this match, Jake?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. They built this match perfectly. And I haven't seen WWE do that in a long time. Actually build such good suspense into this match. It is just, they've done so good, and this is the one that I think should close out the show.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay, why do you think it should close out the show?
It's going to be
the build and everything to it, or
the suspense. Everybody's going to be on the edge of their seat for this match, and they need to have it right at the end. They need people on the edge of their seat at the end of the show, so that to get more people back into wrestling. I mean, it's declined. You know, the ratings have declined so bad here lately that they're losing a lot of viewers. And everybody watches WrestleMania, that watches wrestling. I say everybody. Most of the people that usually kind of try to catch the wrestling will watch WrestleMania this weekend.
Yeah.
So they need that for the company.
Yeah, and you'll have, like I said, you'll get a lot of those casual people who only watch wrestling for WrestleMania because you have all these returning stars and stuff like that, and the part-timers come back for their big matches here. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to say I do like this match, and this is some long-term storytelling from WWE, because if you remember, this rivalry has been going on since mid to late last year, so it's been going on for months, and just the build where you had Randy Orton was trying to beat Bray Wyatt. He just couldn't do it, so he just said, I can't beat him, join him. So he became a member of the Wyatt family, and that kind of caused tension between Luke Harper, Bray, and Randy, which, as we found out, Randy was just the Viper that he said he was, and he won the Rumble. Bray won the title chamber. Randy Orton said he didn't want to fight him, but it was just a hoax to get into Bray's head and to challenge him for the title at WrestleMania. Now, I think this match should close WrestleMania for the build, but another reason, like I mentioned earlier, is I'm an old-fashioned guy. Royal Rumble. The rules of Royal Rumble state that the winner of the Royal Rumble main events WrestleMania. Main eventing WrestleMania to me is the last match on the card. It's what closes out the show. Yep. Randy Orton won. He has earned that right to close out the show at WrestleMania. Just because he's not Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, he has earned the right to main event WrestleMania, and I think he should main event WrestleMania. And this, to me, is a much better told story, but just because they're not Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, which disgusts me, they won't do it. But I think they deserve to close out WrestleMania. Now, segue here, another thing that disgusts me, Roman Reigns. So let's move on to this match. Yeah, now segue there. Roman Reigns, Undertaker. So I'll kick it back to Jake. What are your thoughts on this match? And should Roman Reigns and Undertaker close out WrestleMania?
I don't think they should close out WrestleMania at all. I'm not a big fan of this match. I love Taker, and I like Roman Reigns, but when you got two people, well, one of them's supposed to be a babyface, but he's technically a babyface heel, whatever.
Yeah, he's the most booed babyface ever. Other than maybe John Cena, but
I don't even know about. I think he's worse than John Cena now.
I think he is.
I mean, but it's he had a little bit of a heel promo the other day, but then it was like, no, just kidding, and which sucks because if you're getting booed, and even Triple H has said this, if you're getting booed, if over 70% of the crowd is booing you, you're a heel.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well just make him a heel, but yeah, that won't happen.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this match, Mike, and should it close out WrestleMania?
I don't think it should close out WrestleMania. Now, I'm the type of person that looks forward to Undertaker, even though minus a few years ago, it's just like, oh, he's going to win it. I know this, it's even though just every so, oh crap, he's not going to. Wait, he is, just something that I look forward to seeing, but picking Roman Reigns, I mean, honestly, no offense, they're kind of really grasping at straws to get Undertaker to still wrestle at WrestleMania, trying to find him somebody to fight. I honestly didn't think he was going to do it this year.
There's more to this match than what you think, too. They're trying. This most likely is Undertaker's last match. He's in too much pain.
Oh,
he has to have the hip replacement surgery.
Oh,
and this is WWE's last chance at pushing Roman Reigns over. And it's still not going to work.
And even at that, like you said, he's got to have the hip replacement. I'm also kind of, I don't see anything going wrong, but, anything can happen. I just kind of hope he doesn't get to the point where it's like, oh, hey, yeah, you really have to have this now, to the point where it hurt him so bad he has to go straight into having the hip surgery, because I had totally forgot
about that. Yeah. I'm not really looking forward to the match. I do like the Undertaker, and some of the build was cool. I kind of like what they did this past Monday on Raw with the whole Tombstone thing. Yeah. And had Roman Reigns, and then WrestleMania's Day. That was kind of a cool. They do have some cool things to this build, but it's just. It's like you said, they're trying to push Roman Reigns, and it's not going to work. But they're not going to turn him heel, although they need to, because he's going to get the reception he got last year at Arlington, and he's going to get booed out the building, especially if he does beat the Undertaker. So with that, we're going to. It's not going to be good. But in terms of should they close out WrestleMania, if and only if this one condition is met. If this was announced, this was going to be Undertaker's retirement match, and he was going to retire, then I would say, yes, this match should close out WrestleMania for that simple fact, because it is something special. Undertaker's last WrestleMania match, or maybe even his last match ever, that's something that should headline WrestleMania. And there are instances where I believe matches like that do need to supersede the title. The title match, to me, always needs to close out the show, but there are special cases and instances that there's just a match that's so big in rivalry that it needs to close out the show. And for example, you have WrestleMania 18 is a good example. You have The Rock and Hulk Hogan. That's an iconic match, one for the ages, that should have closed out WrestleMania, but it didn't. That's where they stuck to their guns and said, Triple H and Chris Jericho, you're going to main event WrestleMania. So that's another time that I do feel that if the Undertaker was having his retirement match, that he should close out WrestleMania with that. And that's all the time we have for this segment. But don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our favorite WrestleMania moments right after this short commercial break. So don't go anywhere.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Honigan, known as Cornbread. I'm the voice of Out of Control Wrestling, inviting you to experience OCW in 2 ways. Flatlander, 609 Southeast Gibson Street in Hoxie, Arkansas, with a $6 entry fee. As a bonus, is a national taping. Or you can watch us every single Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern in syndication and YouTube, and also Tuesday nights the replay on YouTube at 11 Eastern. If you're not watching us, you ain't out of control. We'll see you then.
This is Micah Hickey, and you are listening to the Power of Pro Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the show. It's now time to share some of our favorite WrestleMania moments, starting with, we're going to start with Mr. Jake from State Farm over here. And what some of your favorite WrestleMania moments?
Oh, the Edge and Jeff Hardy. When he speared him, when he's holding on to the title, is probably one of my favorites for sure. From
WrestleMania 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely a classic one. So that's a very good one. You have any others you want to share with us from WrestleMania? Or
just the more recent memories, really. I like when Baron Corbin won the
Andre last year. Okay, yeah, and that was kind of cool.
And then they didn't push him all year. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does have the Intercontinental title match against Ambrose, but I mean that's kind of almost back burner for WrestleMania. It's kind of had a strange build, but yeah. So that's some good stuff. Micah, what's kind of some WrestleMania moments that you enjoyed from the past years?
WrestleMania 23, the Money in the Bank ladder match. I remember Edge being laid across, I don't remember if it was a table or a ladder. Or
it was a ladder. It was a ladder.
Yeah, it was a ladder because part of it was on the ring.
And part was on the barricade, yeah.
And Jeff Hardy jumped off a ladder onto him, and it was like a car crash, like smack. And it's like, are they dead? They ended up getting carried off on stretchers. Match continues. Who won it? CM Punk won it that year.
I'm pretty,
It was the first time he won it, that he won it.
Won it, I think, the next year, yeah. That's back-to-back Money in the Bank winners, yeah. I mean, do you have any other moments that are some of your favorites?
Another thing from WrestleMania 23, not the hair versus hair match itself, but the look on Mr. McMahon's face when he lost all his hair. It was priceless.
Yeah. I'm surprised you weren't pulling for Vince McMahon winning that match.
Well, actually, I was wanting to win that match that year, but then because I actually didn't get to watch that WrestleMania that year, like when it happened, I go back like a couple days later and watch it. But when I saw that he got his head shaved, I was like, it's funny. Didn't really. It's like I wanted Vince McMahon to win, but then seeing how it had happened, I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, most definitely. Some of my favorite WrestleMania moments, I mean, I'm going to get heat for this, but I mean, if you've been in the recording area, I mean, obviously WrestleMania 30, the whole Daniel Bryan saga that happened. I'm not going to say the main event match because I do like the match, but I do feel that it was a little bit overbooked. Him getting RKO, powerbomb, and then put on the stretcher, and then coming back from the dead to come back to win the match. It was a little overbooked, and I get where people are on his case maybe for that match, but you cannot hate the Triple H match he had to begin the show. That match was a 5-star classic. So, I mean, that's obviously one of my favorite WrestleMania moments. I did enjoy the Seth Rollins cash-in from WrestleMania 31 because, to me, that saved that main event. No one wanted Reigns or Brock to go out, so that was a good memory.
Yeah.
I think you have to go back, and I've said some of my favorite memories from on past roundtables, so, I mean, you can go back and revisit that, but, I mean, I'm going to kind of give you a few more. Obviously, WrestleMania, probably 25 or 26, the whole Shawn Michaels Undertaker saga. That was amazing. I mean, the WrestleMania 25 match was great.
Wasn't that when he done like the whole, like when he came out, he had like the whole opposite, like he was all white with
his white and Undertaker, and I mean, kind of coming down. It was a very, very great, elaborate entrance. I like that. So I mean, that's cool. And there's been great entrances throughout WrestleMania history, and there's just too many great moments in WrestleMania to name here. We'd be here all night. And it's already late. We're recording this, so I mean, I don't want to obviously prolong this anymore, but that's just been kind of a few of my favorite WrestleMania moments. So, I've enjoyed that. So we're going to close out the show as usual. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. I've greatly appreciated you being on the show, especially last minute circumstances. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to my podcast and supporting us throughout the years. Jake, where can people find you on social media? As always, promote the heck out of yourself, and obviously the vape shop that you got.
Yeah. I'm store manager of Atmos Vapor Lounge. It's on Instagram. It's Atmos, ATMOS _vapor. That's OR, not ER, and _lounge. And then you can find me on Twitter at Jake _Neil. And then you can find me on Facebook. The store is facebook.com /Atmos Vapor Lounge Jonesboro. And then I am facebook.com /Jake.Neil.
Okay. Micah, as always, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook. Just look me up by my name, Micah Hickey. I've actually got a Snapchat now. You can find me on Snapchat.
Yes, we got her on Snapchat. Maybe we'll get Instagram next.
Yeah. Honestly, I got Snapchat and Twitter. Both my names are the same on there. It's Mary Maya 94. It's actually spelled Mari. It's an Mary, but both of those are the same. So Twitter and Snapchat, Mary Maya 94.
Yeah, you just gotta be different. Can't spell it the real way, huh?
Blame my mother on that. That's how she spelled my first name.
Okay, we won't hold that against you. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at Robert Red Jr. You can find me on Facebook, Robert Lee Red Jr. YouTube.com /user Robert Red. You can find me there. If you want to email the podcast, it's ppwppodcast@icloud.com. I've set up an email. So if you want to send your favorite moments or suggestions for the podcast or anything, feel free to hit me up, social media or email, and check us out. Also, thank you to the Repost Network for sponsoring the podcast and stuff like that. If you do want to monetize your SoundCloud content, you can check them out at repostnetwork.com. But once again, I want to thank you guys listening for the show. And don't forget to check out WrestleMania this Sunday on the WWE Network. And check out my past podcasts on soundcloud.com /PPWP. I may do some live stuff on my Shot Class channel. So just stay on my social media for that. And thank you guys for listening to the show. Thank obviously you two for being on the show.
For inviting me.
And catch us next.
Be here.
Yeah, and catch us next time on the Power of Pro Wrestling podcast.
And this podcast is brought to you by the Repost Network. Repost Network. Monetize your SoundCloud content. Sign up today at repostnetwork.com.